Hola mis amigos, bienvenidos a nuestro canal de YouTube. Se presentó el presupuesto del marzo. Hola amigos, it's Jennifer here with two Gringos on the golf. Daryl's letting me do this one solo, so I'm going to present our March 2024 budget. I probably screwed up the pronunciation of budget in Spanish. Presupuesto. El presupuesto. Or maybe, I don't know why it's You'd think it would be just be supuesto. I would think it would be just supuesto. Anyhow, without further ado, we'll carry on. You should be seeing my screen, which is the PowerPoint presentation for this budget. Just to warn you, it's not as nice as it has been lately, as health insurance came out. That was a pretty penny. So it doesn't look as nice as the previous 2 months have. So without further ado, let's just click along. There we go. So there's a preview of it. Our total was 71,000 pesos, essentially, 4,200 US dollars and 5,700 Canadian dollars. Again, that will go through each item, but it is high this month because of the health insurance. Okay, we'll move on. So rent, 7,000 pesos, 421 US dollars and 571 Canadian dollars. I did notice the Mexican peso kind of gained over the previous month a little bit, so our dollar's not going as far, and Daryl's friend who's into foreign exchange said that the Canadian dollar has lost 23% in the last 2 years or 3 years, I forget which. I think it's 2 years, but that's a significant difference. So I'm kind of glad that, we're over here where things cost less. And though I am looking forward to traveling more, it's going to really hurt the budget when we leave this area. So 5,000 Mexican pesos essentially for groceries, 300 US dollars, 400 Canadian dollars. That is still a mix between Chedraui and the markets. Chedraui for things that we can't get at the markets, as well as when the markets are closed and we didn't get to them in time. Sometimes we supplement with Chedraui. And we're only, still doing it a few groceries at a time, and that's working well for us. So sometimes we find ourselves, we didn't have time to get to the market or the grocery store, and it's dinner time. What do we do? So we eat out. So, no skin off our back. We like to eat out. The housekeeper, she's 100 pesos per hour. So with the special projects, I think she's spending a little more time. So that's why this month it's 850 Mexican pesos, because it's taking a little more time, and she's coming every week. So, and that's 51 US dollars and 70 Canadian dollars. So I'm sure you couldn't get a housekeeper in every week in Canada or the US for that in a month. So I won't complain too much. Dining out, much better than the previous month. So 3,000 pesos, 182 US dollars and 250 Canadian dollars. That's still a lot for two people dining out. Probably higher than it should be, but we're enjoying ourselves, and it is part of exploring the area. is eating out and trying new things. Okay, gas for the car. I put $0 here because I included it in our Puebla trip budget, which was towards the end. And the reason I did that is we only filled up because we were going to Puebla. Otherwise, we probably would not have. We filled it up once. We went there and back, and we still have, I don't know how much, probably half a tank, or I don't know how much is left. But so I decided to keep it out of this part of the budget, you know, like the normal top part of the budget. That's our expenses every month. And I put it in the Puebla trip because, like I say, we would not have filled up the tank if we hadn't gone to Puebla. I did get some medications for Cece. This specific one, yes, it's heart medication. 250 Mexican pesos, 15 US dollars, or 20 Canadian. Excuse me, and that was 2 boxes. That'll last a while. Probably won't have to buy them this month. We'll check. We'll see. We'll see next month's budget. CFE bill. We did get CFE bill. 225 Mexican pesos, 14 US dollars, and 18 Canadian. It was for 2 months. We had only been in this place for 1 month, but I just told the landlord, you know what, we were only here for 1 month of this billing cycle, but really this place was pretty much empty before we moved in. I think he had somebody stay here a few nights. But you know what, I said, I didn't argue with it. I said, it's so low, I'll just pay it, and so that's fine. Cell phones are normal. Daryl did run out of data, certain data. So that's 700 Mexican pesos, 42 US, and 57 Canadian. The groomer did come by. The last time I paid her with tip 300 pesos, but she was offering some sort of special this month. I'm not really sure why, but I didn't argue with her. I just took the discount, and it only cost me 200 Mexican pesos, or 12 US dollars, or 16 Canadian. Personal purchases. Some of these things were bought on our trip to Puebla, and we bought 2 of these little guys of the Talavera pottery. They're little ramekins, but we bought 2 of them, and then we bought some cell phone cases and screen protectors. So that was a total of 1,400 Mexican pesos, 87 US dollars, or 118 Canadian. Okay, we did order some more propane. Was that on the previous month as well? Propane, it was 580. So it went down a little bit. The rate does vary per day, I believe. So 550 Mexican pesos, 33 US dollars, or 45 Canadian dollars. And I set it up so that it would come every 45 days automatically. And he figured, the delivery guy, he figured there was probably still a quarter of a tank. And I said, oh, it's okay, just swap it out anyways. I don't want to run out. And so I said, next time I'll schedule every 60 days instead of 45. Travel, local travel. We went to the Symphony a couple of times. Was there anything else in there besides the Symphony? Oh, some parking at the Hico Falls. Okay, so yeah, it's 100 pesos per ticket. It's every Friday night, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. We did it twice. We don't go every Friday, but we did some back-to-back Fridays. If it was 2 or 3, looks like 2. We went to 2 of them. No prescriptions to speak of, so we'll just move on from that. Okay, so Amazon purchases. One of Daryl's sunglasses, he says, was all scratched up and he couldn't see out of them. So it says 0 there, but that's because I had a credit on file for some things I had returned. So technically, because those things I returned were on a previous budget, I probably don't need to include them in this budget, but I did. Okay, so sunglasses, and then he's already filled up an external hard drive of 2 terabytes, so now he's bought another 2 terabyte hard drive. These YouTube videos are eating up the memory space. Okay, health insurance, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, was due, and we have less insurance and it cost us more money. So 29,000 Mexican pesos, 1,700 US dollars, and 2,300 Canadian dollars. And there's your health itinerary team right there in front of you. They are based out of Merida, but it really wouldn't matter where you're living in Mexico. They could likely help you. The one in the middle there, Patty, is the one that helped us and does help us. So yeah, not much to say about that. So we're covered in the case of illness, injury, accident, that sort of thing. I scrapped the vision and dental coverage because you have to use their vision and dental people, and the coverage isn't. We didn't like the dentist they had, and the coverage for the eyeglasses isn't worth the extra premium at all. So we scrapped it. And the rest of it costs more because we left the Yucatan. She tells me that the Yucatan insurance is less than anywhere else in Mexico. So, okay. Whatever, that is what it is. I did go out to quote and nobody came in the same. So, the only thing I found out is this coverage, well, according to the competition, is no longer valid after 65, whereas, you know, there's some expat insurances that are, but they're so expensive that, yeah, no, I'll just cross that path when I come to it. Not right now. Our Puebla trip was 17,576 Mexican pesos, 1,056 US dollars, and 1,400 Canadian dollars. So these are some snapshots of some of the sites we saw. We did a live video from Puebla about some of the things that we did, and then of course Daryl will have a series of videos on our trip too. So these are just some snapshots. That was the best meal we had. That's chocolate lava cake for dessert. We did a Talavera pottery tour. This is the church with the sign in front of it, and then this is another church that is built on Mayan ruins, or what do they call? They call it a archaeological historic site. So I don't know if they were Mayan ruins or what kind of ruins they were, but they were built on a pyramid, basically. So that's a picture of that. I don't know if we talked about the 2 tag passe on the live, but that includes. So I bought Kay talked about it in her live, the single lady that drives back and forth from Mexico to Canada. She told us about 2 tag passe, which is a pass for the toll roads. And so we bought 150 pesos to get the transponder, and then we loaded 1,200 pesos on it because Google told me it was 595 pesos each way in tolls, and it was pretty accurate. I got like 10 pesos left on that transponder, so that includes that. A great way to travel. I mean, it didn't work at everyone. Like every toll road, like Cajita that we passed, all lines were transponder friendly or whatever, transponder happy. Like you could use whatever lane you wanted to for the transponder. Going there, we had 0 issues. We went through. Coming home, there was 2 or 3 times that it didn't work, but they had then a handheld gun. Then they would just the little cajita dude in the box would scan it by hand with the scanner, and then it would work. So I highly recommend it. You don't have to travel with as much cash. It's quicker. It's just a lot more efficient. I tried to load it online and I wasn't able to. So I loaded it at OXXO, and they charged me 14 pesos commission to load it. Sure. I'm not going to argue for 14 pesos. No problem. So that's it. That's our budget. Again, recap: 71,000 Mexican pesos, 4,200 US dollars, and 5,700 Canadian dollars. Not bad, I guess. I mean, $5,700, and that includes a health insurance for an entire year for 2 people. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna check though. Let's just do a little scenario here and release the health insurance. Still brings it a little higher, so 41,291 Mexican pesos to 2,500 US dollars and 3,400 Canadian dollars. So still higher than I want a monthly budget to be, but you know, with a vacation, it wasn't just a quick trip. It was a vacation for me. Like, it was only 4 nights, 5 days. But it was my vacation time. So considering that's 1 week's vacation in there, I think we're okay, and I'm not gonna complain. I do believe I have another slide. I do. Gracias para mirar. Thanks for watching. Daryl, Cece, and I, thank you so much for your comments, your likes. Thanks for subscribing. It's all very important to us, and we do appreciate it. If without those comments and things, we wouldn't know. We'd just be are we talking to air? I don't know. So thank you so much. We do accept negative comments as well. You guys have been very kind, but you know, if you got an issue with what we talk about, do, share, whatever, this is always from our perspective, our experience, and this is our budget for our life. So any comments, questions, what have you, we appreciate them, we encourage them, and we thank you for them. Adios, hasta luego, hasta próxima vez.